Okay guys, so slightly different format of video for you here. I've got some notes. What we've done is we've looked through the last 10 videos and we want to just answer some common questions and thank you for your input.
Yeah, exactly. And just like walk you through and have a casual chat.
Exactly. So, firstly, thanks for the intros. Loads of you on the Welcome to This Course video have introduced yourselves. If you haven't yet, you can always dive back and pay the other people a little bit of attention. You might find somebody in your area you can team up with.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Sam, for you.
Yeah, so you have also asked about Visual Studio for Mac. This is a common question. It's like everyone's saying, oh, can I use that instead of Xcode? Unfortunately not. It's basically a mono-developed reskin, so it only really works with C#. Hopefully someday in the future they will have a C++ version because, as everyone knows, Xcode's not quite as good as Visual Studio. But do keep an eye on that, but at the moment it doesn't work, unfortunately.
Yep, absolutely. Xcode's pretty good though. It does the job. It just has some of the when you see me do some of the fancy whizzy refactors, Xcode won't do that for you, but it's doing most of the others.
But it's good. You'll be learning to do it manually, which isn't available in all the tools.
Yeah, exactly. So some of you asking, so Wojtek asked about my plugin that I use in Chrome that comes up and says, hey, Ben, and welcome to your day and stuff. I really like it. It's called Momentum, and lots of people ask about that. It does a pretty picture and a quote at the bottom, and you can put a countdown to the next exciting thing happening in your life and various other things. Yeah, it's pretty. So, yes, Goha, G-O-H-A. I'm the fast-talking one, as you've probably noticed. Captions, the deal is that Udemy are moving to automatic captions.
Yep.
So how do they get captions enabled if they find lectures they're not enabled on?
So if you want captions enabled, then just go and ask Udemy support to enable them for you, and they should be cooperating with that, and if they're not, then send us a message and we'll help.
You might have to tell them you're hard of hearing, so it's support@udemy.com. Say, I can't quite hear, that's the key word, can you please enable the captions? And they have to. And if enough people do that, they'll bulk enable these auto captions. They're not perfect, especially the code, but you can see the code on the screen. You should be able to get the gist of what we're saying. So, a few people have been asking about Linux.
Ah, yes.
Speak to Brian, right?
Yes, exactly. Brian is championing the Linux side of things. We don't support it, unfortunately, in Unreal. It's a little bit tricky to do. But if you really fancy a challenge and you don't have access to any other platform or refuse to use any other platform, then Brian is the guy to go look for, as he seems to be doing a good job of putting together some instructions in the Q&A and on the forum.
Absolutely. You know, Brian's not a Monty Python character. You'll find him on the Unreal Dev Environment lecture as one of the students. Just want to let you know that's the chap who is championing it. Now, Vlad asked about std::. Why do I use that in front of every cout and all those statements? Well, I wanted to be super explicit about exactly what method you're using early on in the course. Now, it is possible to put at the top of the file using statements, right, Sam?
Yeah, so there's a bit of a danger, though, if you do a using namespace std, because what happens is later on in the code, you might start, you were starting off using cout, for example, and then you start using cerr, and before you know it, you're using all these things from the standard namespace, and somebody new to the code coming to look at your code is going to say, well, where's that coming from? I don't know which namespace that comes from. Whereas if you use standard : or any other namespace : then it's going to be really obvious to people where everything came from, which library things came from.
Well, another alternative is at the top of the file you say using std::, cout, and then from there on you refer to it as cout.
Yeah, then it's also really obvious.
Then the dependencies are clear at the top of the file. So, some people are having trouble, and Connor asked this question, where's the Win32 app? I need to be able to build the Win32 app. Thanks to Devin for posting a screenshot in the Q&A about that. Basically, it will be there, just it shifts around in Visual Studio sometimes as they move the version.
Yeah, so just have a poke around, exactly.
Yeah. Offline access, Sam. So those are people asking, can we download the course material? The answer is no. We, as a community, not just us, have decided we don't want to make all our course material downloadable. But there is a way you can get it offline. How's that?
So using the Udemy app, basically, because they automatically make sure that when you're online, you get the latest version. So you're not just downloading the course en masse and getting an out-of-date version, because we're constantly making updates to this course. And you would miss out on all that if you downloaded it offline. So use the Udemy app if you want to keep a local version.
Yeah, iOS or Android, tablet, phone, whatever.
Yep.
So final thing I want to say really is that there's lots of help on compilation errors, etc. Just do use the Q&A, ask for help. People will help you.
Yep.
And the final thing to say is, do you like these casual kind of things? Because if you do, what we'll aim to do is add them in before every or after every quiz, every 10 lectures or so, to check the Q&A and to answer common questions. So if you like them, we'll keep making more.
Yeah.
See ya. That was an awkward pause. I think we should leave this in.
Pause.
Okay, see you guys.
Yeah.